and then they bring that piece of shit in and put him over Flair the first time. Fuck that piece of shit motherfucker, you know?
Yeah, but that was long after. I mean, I love Flair, but that was sort of long after the real Southern style had already left WCW. Well, WCW was to me was good, you know, whenever it was the Four Horsemen and
Rock and Roll Express,
all that. Yeah,
Midnight,
Rock and Roll Express.
today.
Yeah, Midnight Express. Yes. Yeah, I need to thank my dad for the Seagram's Lime Twist Gin and Diet 7-Up because I'm fucking completely wasted and I can't even remember all the people that I used to fucking watch every Saturday. So thank you. But anyway, yeah, Rock and Roll Express, I hated them. I hated Magnum TA. I was always the heel fan. I loved Jim Cornette and Midnight Express. I loved the Four Horsemen. I thought that was the greatest thing. Arn Anderson was my favorite, probably in my top 2 or 3 of all times. I loved when Rick Rude would come in and he got like the nuclear heat. He was just the most hated guy. Him and Manny Fernandez. You know, the tag team thing at the time was amazing, and so that's probably more where you started, where you got into your whole thing too, right?
Dude, I started going to see Flair when I was 7 years old. I mean, this was when he was teaming up with Rip Hawk, before there was the Nature Boy. You know what I'm saying? At 9 years old, we used to go to Spartanburg every Saturday night. They had Spartanburg every Saturday night. They had Greenville Memorial Auditorium every Monday night. And we would go every Saturday and every Monday. And we went so much that at 9 years old, I would meet Ric Flair at his car and carry his bag to the building and then meet him after the show and carry it back to his car. At 9 years old, I was Ric Flair's bag boy.
Well, there you go. So now we know where you're coming from.
Lazy motherfucker.
So yeah, obviously then when you saw the Rock and Wrestling Connection or whatever they call it, the Rock and Wrestling thing, right after that it started getting really cartoony and really kiddie up in the WWF. Did you watch that when you were young, or did you just be like, man,
no,
this is stupid? Because I remember watching that, and I would watch it and everything, and I loved Brutus Beefcake back then. But it was before the barber. It was when he was like the gay kind of a stripper with Luscious Johnny V as his manager. I used to love that shit. But I remember that, and then it started getting real cartoony after that. Like, after they got off TBS, they started getting really cartoony on the USA Network. And and I think nowadays that it's not so cartoony, but what they write for those guys to say on their show every week is sickeningly kiddie. The crowds are all little kids. It's a terrible show. Well, I don't watch it, but I'll flip through, and I'll catch a little bits here and there. It's terrible. It's worse than it was before, even.
Yeah, they're going to PG-13. Or PG,
no,
right?
They didn't go to... Yeah, they went to PG, and now they have... Because at least back when it was cartoony, they had really good wrestlers back then. But now it's PG, and they have just a bunch of bodybuilder guys that can't even wrestle matches. They're terrible.
Well, the best area they had was the Attitude Era. That's when wrestling was good. But then again, it's when WCW and WWE was competing for the ratings. That was the best wrestling on TV, period. When they were competing against each other, fucking A, you couldn't touch their shit. But, now Vince is like, fuck. I mean, he don't consider TNA no competition. Why would he? And so he can put on whatever he wants to. I mean, if you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. That's the way he thinks. And undoubtedly people are watching it because it's a fucking billion-dollar business, Well,
generally I only watch TNA, but I mean, I'm almost torn because this Monday on the 4th when they have the TNA live show, they're bringing Bret Hart on the Monday Night Raw show, and I love Bret Hart so much that I'm actually torn. I don't know what to do because Bret Hart. I mean, you had to be a Bret Hart fan, especially
hated Bret Hart.
You
hated
really
him.
You didn't like the way he wrestled. I mean, you didn't like his style.
You know what? He always criticized Flair. Well, if you've seen one match, you've seen them all. What the fuck was he watching? His matches were all the same
I agree.
too.
No,
Ric Flair's like, I would read the press like when Flair went to WWE the first time, and Brett said that he wrestled him and he was expecting the 9 or 10, and he would rate him a 3. Yeah, fuck him.
No, I agree with that because actually Bret Hart's matches looked more similar. He used a lot more of the same moves in his matches to win the match than Ric Flair ever did. Ric Flair's matches, I mean, he had certain things that he would use in most of his matches if he wanted to, but his matches were a lot different than each other generally. But I did love Bret Hart's matches too. I thought Bret Hart was really good too. You're more obviously more. You lean more towards Flair than I, because I don't know any of them. I don't know anybody. I just know both of their matches, and I loved Bret Hart's matches, and I loved Ric Flair's matches. But I would agree with you that I think Ric Flair's matches were different more than Bret Hart's matches were.
Well, Shawn Michaels had better matches than Bret Hart.
Well, Shawn Michaels is
back when Shawn was the champion. He was God. He could do no wrong.
He's the top guy. He still can't. To me, whenever he still steals every show if he wants to, and no matter what, he steals every show if he wants to. But and I mean, him and Flair was great at the WrestleMania. Before that, him and Jericho was great at the WrestleMania, and then him and Undertaker was great at WrestleMania. Every WrestleMania, that's it. I mean, if you put Shawn Michaels in the match, and I almost hate to see him and Undertaker do it again this year.
Well, Shawn will take it this year.
That's what because I kind of want. I don't even really care, but I do like the Undertaker. He's not always. When he was the ham bone guy, when he was the biker, that sucks shit. But all the other times,
the skyscraper.
When he was the what?
Skyscraper down in WCW. Him and Dan.
Oh, yeah. No, he kind of sucked then too. But as the Undertaker, I always loved the Undertaker. Because it kind of that character kind of morphed as I grew up. It kind of grew up too. Like when I was a kid, he was in the purple with the gray gloves, the purple trim on the black outfit and stuff with the stupid everything. And then it kind of like morphed into like the more demonic fucking thing with the ministry and all that shit. And it came, it always kind of stayed cool like as I grew up. But then he became the biker. That sucked shit. He was way too heavy. His matches were terrible. Then he switched back into the old character. He trimmed down. His matches have been great because he's trimmed all that extra muscle off, and he's able to move again.
Right. Well, let me tell you how stupid wrestling is, okay? Let me just give you a few examples. Bret Hart was the world champion. Owen Hart was not. Owen Hart was 10 times the worker Bret would ever fucking be. Plain and simple. Okay? Colt Cabana's not in WWE. CM Punk is. To me, Cabana worked circles around Punk and had 10 times more charisma. Chris Hamrick is at home and Mike Knox has a goddamn job with WWE. What the fuck?
I agree. I'm with you, man. I'm with you, dude. I agree, and I think I don't know. I don't know what it is with the major companies, but I think you definitely got to keep knocking on them, man, because I think especially, like I'm telling you, especially someone like Ring of Honor or the new Dragon Gate and Evolve companies, they gotta be able to use Chris Hamrick because of, you got the character developed, you know how to, you know how to do everything. You're there. You know how to do all the stuff the young guys know how to can do, but you can do it better. I think, as long as you keep going, just keep talking. Like Sapolsky's running that Evolve and that Dragon Gate. Call him up. We got listen, Awesome Bomb Fight Radio's got to say, look, man, our guy Chris Hamrick, now he's a Dragon Gate guy. We got to be able to say that. Our guy Chris Hamrick, Awesome Bomb Fight Radio's guy, now we got a Dragon Gate guy. That's what we want. So let's make this happen. Let's do it.
How many listeners do you have?
We get a couple thousand downloads for every show we do.
Okay. Give out Gabe Pulowski or whatever his fucking name is email and tell him to email him and tell him we want Hamrick.